Run about the car racing. The driver goes out before in when you approach a turn. So if I'm going straight over here, I want to go towards sunny, I will create a lightening of my left foot in order to have my mass traveling towards the outside first. Once I'm connected to the ski, it's easy to give the turn shape and have to make sure that everything's going to happen smoothly. That out before in movement is going to force you on a longer line. So there's two types of skiers. There's two ways to balance: pusher or puller. You're balancing by pulling your center of mass move towards the outside over your outside foot. Or if I try to push, it actually makes the opposite reaction. If I push on my right foot, I'm going to push my mass towards the inside of the turn. So the way you balance will have a huge impact on the line you'll take. The pushers are short line skiers. If I push on my right foot, I'll go for a shorter line. The pullers are going to be longer line skiers. Okay, so just give it a go over here. Start with a few snowplow turns and build it back into your skiing. Lighten versus push. Okay, so the balance on your outside foot is controlled from the inside half of your body. I'm lightening the inside half to gain balance on the outside versus compressing the outside half and losing the access to the joints. Access to the joints is our first technical reference. Okay, so just go here, start in snowplow, 5 turns and then ski it, but pull to balance versus push. There you go. In our system, we're using reflective learning principles. So we start with the task, then we reflect on it, we understand it, and we vary. That's a little bit the system we use to develop our skiers. So right now, I'm gonna make you reflect on what we've been doing so far. So just bring your uphill ski forward like this. Try to lift it. It's very difficult. Yeah. If you get too much lead and you let your outside foot go back with that friction, you're gonna lock yourself up. You cannot be a puller. You're stuck, you will be a pusher for sure. Bring back your feet side by side, lighten inside foot. Now you're unlocked and you have full range of motion. So rule number 1, don't let the friction pull that outside foot back, or else you won't be able to balance by lightening. Good? Second element, get as wide as you can. Try to lift your uphill foot. Very difficult. Get narrower. Try to lift your uphill foot. Much easier. What we notice, pushers are very often having a stance with the feet wider than the pelvis. If your stance is very wide, you'll end up combining edging and pressure together. You're a pusher. If you try to cure a pusher, if you try to bring the pusher to be a puller, get the stance a little bit narrower, and you will create a little bit more of a pulling effect to balance versus a pushing effect. Okay? The width of your stance has to be vertical. You look at Henrik Kristoffersen on the World Cup, he skis about horizontally.
This way.
This way. I would score at Scrabble with this one. Horizontally is not that wide. Vertically is very wide. So the separation of his feet is vertical. It's not this way. So you can try it over here. Just do a couple of turns super wide, and you'll notice that when I'm very wide with my stance, I have more tendency to push as I edge the ski. Narrower stance, you'll develop a little bit more pulling. I'm pulling from the pelvis. I'm lightening, I'm pulling on the inside half of my body from the pelvis. Make sense? There you go. All the way down.